Welcome to another episode of Hey, I'm Just a Fan podcast. And boy, oh boy, another week. Some more shit is going down out the gate. Let's get right into it. Joe Biden has dropped out from the presidential race. And he addressed it with a nice letter. And at first in the letter, he didn't endorse Vice President Kamala Harris. But it ended up turning out that he did endorse her. And now we're off to the races. It's Kamala versus Trump. Now, we don't know who her running mate's going to be yet. And like I said, I'm not a super political person like that because I just think a lot of things in politics, it's tricky, man. A lot of money behind stuff, a lot of bullshit. But do we really think that Kamala Harris can beat Donald Trump? Especially after the bang bang. Because that man, everything has shot up by that dude, bro. Not no pun intended actually by that. But you know what I mean. Everything has skyrocketed up in a sense of his support by already his people and people that necessarily wasn't supporting him. Now, look, we all knew Joe at some point was going to need to drop out. This dude wasn't even present at the debate. He done fell down multiple times. He done fell upstairs. He's falling asleep everywhere. It's like he's narcoleptic. People a while ago said he shouldn't have been president. Like, he should have never been voted in. Off the simple fact that he was just old as hell. A lot of people were concerned that he might die during this presidential race. And even though I think Trump might be even older than Joe Biden, he's still showing at least that he has his scruples. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, the nigga Trump is still pretty quick on his feet. He out here dodging and stuff like that. But now things get interesting. So don't come in here and try to ask me, so Keenan, who are you going to be voting for, man? Get your bitch ass about my face. All right? I'll never disclose a lot of that stuff because one, people just can't handle it. Two, it ain't really none of your motherfucking business. I never ask anybody who they're voting for. When they talk about politics, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I just let them ride. If they want to say who they voting for, they say it. But I don't really ever ask people, so who you got? Not that I don't care, but it's like I understand how personal that is. And I understand that's why they say never talk politics and religion and shit like that, because people get very, very defensive, very, very offensive, and just very, very just conniving and dangerous with their words when it comes to talking politics. So I'm going to stand by what I've always stand by. Fuck both sides. I don't trust neither side. None of these niggas are trustworthy. They've never been trustworthy. All right? Like I said before, specifically for black people, we got to get our bread together. We got to leverage that money for votes. If we ever want to really do anything for real, because all that talking, all that, people playing instruments and putting hot sauce in their purse, none of that shit has gotten us anywhere. Also, to add to this political stuff, man, did you see Hulk Hogan's speech, man? He was just, "Well, brother, Donald Trump's coming for you, brother." I just felt Booker T after that. I was just like, yeah, you know what? Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. Like, we ain't... And I was a Hulk Hogan fan growing up. I loved Hulk Hogan. I'm a real American. But it makes all the sense now. It makes all the sense that he was this way. He was always this way. There's been plenty of tapes that came out about Hulk Hogan, and he's been on some weird type of stuff. They try to save face because he was bumping Jeezy in the truck one time. And that didn't fool me because he was bumping some Jeezy. That don't fool me. But let me tell you something, man. Hulk Hogan with the handlebar mustache and the cul-de-sac. Who did you expect him to endorse? Like, you can't even be mad at who he's endorsing. Like, he looks the part of who he should be endorsing. Now, let's talk about something on a brighter note. An article came out saying, money does bring happiness. You're damn right. Who thought it didn't? Which one of y'all fools was out here saying, see, money don't bring happiness. You see, this person's angry and not happy. Shit. There's been a few articles about this, actually. I think Forbes put out an article. I think there's been a few articles actually within the past few weeks or so, possibly in the past few days, that came out that money does actually equate to happiness. What made y'all think it didn't? Every person that I've seen with some real bread looks happier than the person that ain't got that bread. Now, the article talks about happiness from people that make around 30 to 45K a year to up to 100,000. To $500,000 to over in the millions and billions of dollars. And in all of those stages, the study shows that their happiness has went up. I know what it is. Y'all saw a few millionaires and billionaires off themselves, right? They went and jumped off a bridge and did a somersault and snapped their neck in half or hung themselves. And y'all was like, see, money doesn't bring happiness. This person couldn't have been happy if they decided to kill themselves. Man, some people were just drug addicts. That's number one. Some people were on drugs, did some fun, happy shit. And then accidentally either OD'd or killed themselves. And if you want to be honest, a lot of times the rich people that actually kill themselves, what ends up happening is they did some crazy shit, right? Either they made a bad investment, an illegal investment, got caught doing some weird stuff, or a bunch of other crazy things, and they end up killing themselves because shit was about to hit the fan. Somebody came to them like, hey, we about to write this article about you, bro. And it says that you was out here fondling kids. And you know what they did? They blew their fucking head off. But before that, they was having a happy time doing shit with them kids. And it sounds fucked up, but I guarantee you, they was happy doing that at that time with that money. I see way more broke people that are not happy. Shit, I'm one of them. Like I'm at a probably medium and a happy range. But I'm like, I need this bread. Talk about money don't bring happiness. Have you seen these people on the golf course? They're extremely happy. They're having a good ass time. They're making business deals, getting investment advice from each other. They're over there having a good time. Hey, my wife, she's making great deals for the family. And my side chick, she sucked my dick every single day. I'm a happy man. Everybody's happy. When a millionaire and a billionaire is not happy, it's because they lost a lot of shit. It could be a lot of money, but they still probably have money. They're just upset at the moment that they made a bad deal or a bad deal fell through. I would be so much happier with millions of dollars right now. My wife and I would be in a dope ass house. We'll have multiple investments. We'll have rental properties, all types of stuff. Money doesn't buy happiness. You sick fucks. How much money do you have, huh? How happy are you really? And then ask yourself, if you make even $80,000 a year and you're pretty happy with that, right? If you had $80 million, how much happier would you be, huh? Because once you make a certain amount of money, you stop looking at the price tag of stuff. Until I can stop looking at the price tag of things, I ain't gonna be happy. And I'll be real with you, a nigga like me, go always look at that price tag, even when I got that bread. So, does money buy happiness? I want to know from y'all, do y'all really think money can buy happiness? I want y'all to let me know in the comment section because I know it does. Anytime I see pictures of rich people or interact with rich people, they always got a smile on their face. They mouth wide open. But if I'm being honest with you, I want to make a lot of money, but I don't want to make too much money. I know that might sound crazy, but I feel like when you start to get into like a certain amount of money range, you start to not get satisfied sexually. Like these multi-billionaires, these people that are close to billionaire status, they be some straight up freaky ass 69 God Diddy type niggas. You don't believe me? Look at Diddy. He was a billionaire, close to a billionaire. He on some freak ass stuff. The whole Epstein Island, that was rich, freaky ass shit right there. And if you want to get to that crazy money, them Saudis out there with that oil money, shit. Literally, shit. They over here dookie on chicks, peeing on chicks. They paying women to watch them eat their own feces. That's how much money they are. They on some 2 girls, 1 cup shit with that type of bread. Probably recording it, rewatching it, laughing. If that is what happens to you, you turn into a straight freaky ass person because you got so much money, because you're not satisfied sexually, because you done had sex with the most beautiful woman in the world. And now that doesn't turn you on. Then you start watching animal shows and that don't turn you on. And now you gotta, like I said, defecate on people or join in on the animal shows. I don't need to make that much money, fam. I don't need that much. I am a regular degular, spit in your mouth, choke you a little bit, smack you on the ass, talk a little bit of trash, eat your booty-o type guy. That's the type of person I am. I keep it there. That right there, broke people do. Eat your girl's ass. My stuff don't go past that. Even like a lot of times the porn that I watch, I'll be watching regular built bitch porn. I don't even necessarily be watching all the baddest chicks, the supermodel built girls, the extra big ass titties, or the BBL chicks. I don't even be watching them. I'll be watching girls that are legit built with a little bit of chubby on them. Not necessarily BBLs. Like, I'll watch a BBL or two every once in a while, but I'm talking about like, hey, she got a little bit of weight because she's 35. It's hard to get that weight off. So that's why she got it. It's a little tummy, but when she lay down, it kind of disappeared. That's the type of shit I be watching. Just regular amateur bullshit. I don't be going crazy like that. And I don't want to. I remember I was watching a show called, like, I think it's called Billions or something like that. I forgot what it was called or what network it was on. But they was like into some whole dom stuff. And it was like, I don't want to make the money to where I feel like I got to put a gun to my head while I'm having sex. Now I'm over here playing Russian roulette and the girl got the gun talking about, huh? You want to come? While she pegging you. Nope. I'm straight. Literally, I'm straight. I don't need that. And speaking of all that freaky dicky shit, have y'all watched this season of The Boys? Man, this show has been getting crazier and crazier every single season. Now, just a small little week cap, I guess, of the show in general. If you don't know what The Boys is a superhero show if we really had superheroes and how they really would be acting and what they really would be doing. And this is what drew me to the show. I kept hearing about it, but I was like, I'll watch it at some point. And then I watched the first episode, and one of the characters, his name is A-Train, a black dude. He's a speedster. And he was running real fast. And one of the other like main characters, like a regular person who's not a soup, he was with his girlfriend. I think they just came out of the store or something like that. And they were like talking on the street. And he was like, yeah, babe, I love you. They're like holding hands. And then A-Train ran right through her. Like literally just ripped her body into shreds. All you saw was like her hands still attached to the dude's arms or whatever. That was it. That's the first episode. That's when I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch this. And then he kind of turns around, and the superhero's kind of like, oh shit, my bad, dog. Shit happens type stuff. That was his energy, and he just took off running. Like he was just like, oh my bad, nigga. Like I ain't. It happens, dog. So that's what made me love this show. It was like, yo, if superheroes were really superheroes, a lot of these people be like, yo, I'm stronger than you. Like the main character, Homelander, is a white dude, and he's doing exactly what I would think what a white man would do with all that power. He's fucking shit up. He's doing what he wants to do. He's killing innocent people and laughing about it. He's psychotic. He's all the psych words, whatever you want to call it. He killed a whole plane of people when he could have saved them. He didn't. He thought it was hilarious. He thinks it's funny because he's like, I'm stronger than all of them. What are they going to do? They're not going to stop me. But this particular season, stuff just kind of hits the fan. And it's funny with all the political stuff I was talking earlier. This is where this season kind of turned. The suits are pretty much trying to essentially get in office in a sense and play the political game. And man, in this season, a lot of just weird stuff was going down, man. Like there's like a quote unquote Batman type character in the show. And he was on some just weird Batcave freaky shit. And one of the assistants of the Soups, like she's into that freaky shit too. Like she's all in the dominatrix type stuff. She be pegging dudes. And so they're down there and they're about to like do some weird, nasty, freaky stuff to one of the main characters that's not a Soup. And it doesn't end up happening. He gets saved. But like, dog, they were about to essentially, I think, put a new hole in him and then fuck the hole. That's the type of freaky stuff they be on in the show. I think it was season 3 or season 2. One dude, he's like a small guy. Like he can make himself small like Ant-Man. He walked into a dude's dick hole and was like pleasuring him through the dick hole. Like just running back and forth or whatever. And the dude was like, oh, going crazy. And then he accidentally expanded himself and fucking blew the whole guy's fucking bottom half off. Like that's how crazy this show goes to. Like it's kind of gory, comedic, and drama at the same time. But it is an interesting aspect of like if people had superpowers, how they would really act. Now with this season, when like the Soups are like kind of like in office, they essentially got like their hand up a regular person's ass. That's essentially going to be the president. They trying to run everything. And now the guys that are not the Soups got to stop them. So it's a show that I recommend. Like there's not many shows that I've watched in the past. I feel like this year so far in 2024, besides some anime, there hasn't been really a lot of shows that I can recommend really in the past 2 to 3 years. Like if you haven't been watching a show like Snowfall, watch Snowfall. Snowfall is amazing. You know what I'm saying? But besides that, there's not too many shows that I've been super, super into. And The Boys is one of them. To me, it's a must watch. It's one of the best shows on TV right now. And I wonder, could it go down as like a top 5 TV show with like The Wire. The Wire's in there for sure. Breaking Bad's in there. For me, Snowfall's in there as a greatest show of all time. Could The Boys put itself in there in this next season? I think it can, man. So I would say watch The Boys. I think it's on Amazon Prime. If you don't like the first season, then tap out, because it's going to be a lot of that going on. They kind of up the ante and a lot of that stuff. So if you can't get past the first season because it's too gory, you ain't going to get past the show. The show is that. Now, if y'all have any other dope TV shows that y'all might want to recommend for me, let me know. Put it in the comment section. I'm always down to binge watch a new show if it's good. I'll give it like an episode or two. But if it ain't good, I'm tapping out, man. I'll tell you that. This is what I liked about The Boys. They got me within that first 30 minutes or so. I would say probably even earlier than that. Probably within the first 10, they got me in. And I feel like for me, my attention span has been getting kind of trash. So you got to kind of draw me in pretty quickly to make me want to watch a show. If you have anything to recommend, that or some anime also, man. I've been catching up on My Hero. My Hero's last episode was pretty solid. Spoiler alert, if you haven't been watching, there was finally a big death in My Hero Academia. And, man, I feel like a lot of people were shocked. Reading the manga, I knew what was coming, and I know what's to come next. But My Hero Academia was one of those shows that needed stakes because it was just too friendly, man. People were too nice. You weren't seeing a lot of people die. People were just getting some handicaps, losing their legs and arms and eyes. But it was just like, hey, we're still here. We need people to die for the shit to hit the fan for real. And when you watch a Demon Slayer and a Jujutsu Kaisen, people die in there. They ain't coming back. They gone. That's what's going to make you like those shows even more, because of the stakes. So, if you got any other anime recommendations for me also, let me know in the comment section. I'm down to watch some stuff. Like I said, I'm more of an action-packed guy, but if you got a good-ass storytelling show that's an anime, hit your boy up. Let's get on to the WNBA, man. The WNBA All-Star Game was this weekend, and they was out here. Let me tell you something. Angel Reese. Y'all can say what y'all want about her, man. Some people be trying to make fun of how she looked. She's a gorgeous woman to me, right? Tall, beautiful, nice body, good personality. She hooping. She done came out with some nice outfits and showed that body off. And people be like, what you doing out there, Angel? What you doing? So how they did the All-Star Game this year in the WNBA was they had the WNBA All-Stars versus the USA women's basketball team. And there was a lot of controversy earlier about a couple of players that should have made the team, that didn't make the team. Caitlyn being the main one. Some people might have said Angel Reese also. But specifically a player, her name was Ongabuale, and I might be saying her name wrong. I apologize if I am. But she's considered one of like just the best players in the WNBA from a skill set wise. Like she's cold with it. And she was left off that USA team. And the women's USA team lost to the WNBA All-Stars. That's right. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Ungambole, they beat those girls. Matter of fact, Ungambole, she had, I think 3 points in the first half. Like, she was not really cooking like that. But in the second half, she had 30-plus points. Like, she broke a WNBA record. Like, she's legit cold with it. And a lot of people now are questioning and saying, hey, some of these players that you left off might have should have been on the team. And I agree. At least she should have been on the team for sure. And like I said, I do think it makes sense for Caitlyn to be on there from a star power perspective, because I believe like somebody showed a picture of the trophies, right? And the trophies from like last year to this year is a big time just difference in how it looks. That's because the WNBA is drawing in way more money because of this new class. You got to give them respect. Now, at the end of the day, A'ja Wilson is still top dog to me. Like, there's not a better player in there. She's a double-double machine. She's essentially what AD would be if AD was healthy. Like, she's a dog out there. And that's no disrespect. Like, she's legit beast on the court. And she's not bad looking either. I saw a couple of pictures. I was like, I say, yeah. For some reason, when we see a bad chick, our voice get higher. We be like, yeah, man, the game was cool. Oh, yeah. All right, there. I ain't done. So I saw this video online. I think it was TikTok or something like that. And this girl was talking about how, like, if you bring a girl around a family for the first time and the family's like, oh, dang, how you bag her? Leave. Like, leave that dude immediately, because that means you his first bad chick. And that is the furthest from the truth. That is not true. It might be true in very little cases, but for the most part, if you have a good family, especially like a good black family, they're going to always hype the woman that you bring around. That's just what good black families do. They're going to gas her head up, pump her up, put twos on tens, and make her feel like she's the best thing smoking. It don't matter if you bad as hell. It don't matter if you pretty good looking, if you average, if you it don't matter. They gon' pump you up because they want you to feel confident. They want you to feel like family. They want you to feel loved. They want you to think that their son, grandson, nephew is happy to have you. He's lucky to have you. And if we're being honest, it's very rare that a dude gets a bad chick and he don't get bad chicks. Like, I don't understand how y'all don't understand that. It's very rare for a guy that gets bad chicks and he doesn't always get bad chicks, or he doesn't have a few under his belt so he knows how to handle that. If a dude doesn't know how to handle a bad chick, it doesn't start with the family. It's going to start with how he's treating you, how he's acting. He's going to be acting different because he has a bad chick. That's where you notice if he's never had one or not. It's not because he brings you to the family and they point it out. It's going to be pointed out immediately when he gets you, because he's never been here before. This is uncharted territory to him. And in some cases, the family don't fully go off looks. They might look at you and be like, man, she's like a hoe, or whatever the case may be, but they keeping that energy to themselves. It's really going to be how do you treat their son. I'll give you an example. The first thing my mom asked when I called her and I told her that I was actually, I was getting exclusive with my girlfriend, who's now my wife. And honestly, my mom didn't give a damn about seeing the picture. All she said was, can she cook? That's the first thing she said. When I had her on the phone, I was like, yeah, this is my lady right here, whatever. She was like, can she cook? She didn't even ask her name. She was like, does she know how to cook, boo? I was like, she's like, yeah, I know how to cook. She was like, do you cook? She was like, yeah, I cook. She's like, all right, cool. Everything else it don't really matter to me like that, because I already know my son gonna pick a beautiful looking girl because that's my son. He does that. Now, of course, some families do want you to look good because it's like it just makes the family look a little bit better. And like, oh, look who my son pulled. But in all honesty, most families know how to keep themselves grounded when you're a beautiful woman you come around. They're not going to be like, oh my gosh, that means the whole family ugly. That means nobody in the family has had a bad one. Nobody in the family has brought a bad one around before? Are you kidding me? You think nobody in the family has brought a bad chick around before? You the first in the whole 10 generations of family that's been bad as hell. Man, shut your goofy ass up, man, with this. Y'all egos got to be checked sometimes. Y'all really be thinking the world revolves around you. It's not that serious. Some of y'all be thinking y'all bad, but y'all don't even be bad for real. You low-key be the least attractive or the second to least attractive person in your friends group. Talking about you the baddest. No. You might dress up well, but on average, you look cool. You all right. You wear so much makeup. You put on so many filters. You think you bad. You ain't bad. You ain't nothing. If you really want to know if you bad or not, it ain't going to even come to you like that. What's going to happen is when he first bring you around to friends in real life, like his real true homeboys, right? Because he's already showed them a picture of you if he's really feeling you like that, right? But dudes understand, like, pictures are pictures. We can be like, oh, she bad in picture. I need to see her in person. When you finally meet the friends group in person, what ends up happening is once you leave, they're going to be like, nigga, you got a bad one. All right. She cold, dog. She bad than a motherfucker. She got a sister. I need one of those. That's what's going to happen. The friend's going to be asking for other friends, or do you have a sister? That's how you know if you bad or not. If your guy or your boyfriend don't immediately hit you and be like, hey, man, what's up with some of your homegirls, man? Some of my homeboys want to meet some of your homegirls. If he not saying that, you're not as bad as you think you are, baby girl. You okay. You, We call y'all the ants. And that's fine. A lot of ants are good-looking women when they dress up. But humble yourself. That's all I'm saying. That's what this other video. It was pretty controversial, right? It was a video of a German woman pretty much saying how black women aren't competition, right? And of course, a lot of black women are up in arms. But this is where listening comprehension to me is very important, because if you watch the video, she's the German girl. She's talking about the average black man in America. Like, she says those words. The average black man in America need what I'm giving. right? And that's why they end up choosing sometimes women outside their race, right? And when you start to hear the way women speak online specifically, right? I'm just using that. I'm going off how black women are speaking online about the average black man, not how they're speaking about the rich black guy, the successful multimillionaire or a guy that makes $500,000 a year black guy, or even how they speak about the hood dude, right? The way they speak about those particular two guys, type of guys, anyways, they speak highly of them, right? They speak like those guys deserve that. When you have a conversation with a woman, specifically a black woman, and they've dealt with hood dudes, a lot of times you'll hear them say they gave them everything. Like they took care of them. They took care of them financially. They gave them to them sexually. Sometimes, they may be having multiple children with them. They did all the things that they probably should have did for the average black guy. And now they're not doing that because they're upset about how this particular guy treated them or how the upper prestigious guy treated them. Then they take it all out on the average black American guy, right? Which is the majority of black men. The majority of black men are the average American man. They're average height. They make an average amount of money. You know what I'm saying? It's not that they're average men in the sense of like their personality. They could be hella funny and just different things like that and super cool people in good shape and stuff like that. But how they get spoken about is like, I'm not doing all that for them. You have to have all this for me to be feminine in a sense, right? And these other women outside the race are just like, that's how you should treat a man in general. You should always be feminine to a man. It doesn't matter if he's rich. It doesn't matter if he's poor. As a woman, you should always give him your feminine self. And that's what I think a lot of those women are doing. And I think some, not all, because my woman's a black woman and she gives me that feminine energy. She gives me that feminine side. And I will be considered, quote unquote, an average black guy in a sense, at least from a financial standpoint and a height standpoint. I would say my personality is way above that. And as a person, I'm a good person. I'm a great person. So that's way above average. But in the sense of like what they talk about, what they want, height and money, I would be considered average. And my wife, who is black, gives me that feminine energy. I tell her that like a lot of times, but like I just love how soft you are. Like I just love just how good of a person you are to me and how just nice you are. You know what I'm saying? So you saw a lot of women online go off on that woman and make videos about her, talking about like, who are you to say? See, people always trying to tell black women what to do and stuff like that. And it's just like, if you want to be honest, some black women have been saying these particular things already about being softer and kinder to the average man. There's been plenty of black women saying that. And you know what they get called? They get called pick-me's. They get called pick-niches or whatever other pick kind of name. And I ain't gonna lie, I be laughing at some of these names. It's kind of hilarious. And some of the viewpoints I be laughing at, but I'm like, it's still ignorant. But sometimes ignorance is hilarious. You know what I'm saying? But in that, it's been said. It's just not like just white women saying this. There's some black women out there saying this, but they get crucified online. So now we ask the question, who can correct black women? And maybe that word triggers you, but who can essentially, correct y'all, or who can tell y'all, like, give y'all advice and be like, that y'all will actually take? Because I understand not wanting to take advice from women outside your race. I'm not even saying you should, right? But when black women try to correct black women, y'all trash them too. So if they can't correct y'all, who can? Because you're not taking it from us either, right? We said our viewpoints. We know we want out of y'all, but y'all don't really give a shit what we have to say. Okay, that's fine too. But if y'all can't correct y'all, who can? Like, in all honesty, this is not me being an asshole. This is not me trying to start some shit. I'm truly asking because I want to know, because just like as black men, we need help. We do need help. But black men can correct black men. Black men, we do it all the time. We go to each other for advice. We listen to certain type of people, right? Some podcasts, I'm not saying listen to the Red Pill podcast super aggressively like that, but like there's some things in some of those podcasts that is like, man, those are some good things, and some are some just crazy negative things, right? But as men, we can correct each other. There's other podcasts, I think it's called Nice and Neat. If I might be getting that wrong, or if you watch, I think, and there's like another podcast or show, I think it's called Tonight's Conversation or something like that. There's a dude on there, I think, named Trip, and there's a woman on there named Kitty, and they usually give really, really great advice on there for men and women. And that's what I'm saying. We can get corrected, even with black women. When black women are talking to us, we can kind of sometimes take some of the whatever, if it's an attitude, if it's the not right energy for us, we can still be like, I didn't like how she delivered that, but she has a point, right? And in some cases, we can just clearly hear it. It's like she's delivering it the way we want to hear it, and we be like, all right, she makes a good point. And, I probably got to get on my shit. You know what I'm saying? But black women and black men can correct us as black men. Who can correct y'all? So I just want to truly know. Let me know in the comment section, because at some point in time, there needs to be correction, because things are not going the way for some of y'all that y'all want. Now, there's plenty of black women out there that are great black women. So don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that this is how all of y'all are. I'm not one of those people. Like I said, I got me a good wife in that sense. I got friends that got good black wives. The same thing. Everything is working out great for them. But like I said, let me know in the comment section. I want to know who can give y'all the advice that y'all need to help y'all become better people. And I'll say this too. When I watch a lot of content, and sometimes my algorithm gets messed up, and I'll see like a lot of women's content on my algorithm on TikTok specifically, it's just a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to the ladies online sometimes. Like, they talk about how they want to be respected a certain way, and don't talk to me, address me nice. Everybody always coming out with some sexual stuff about us. They're always trying to sexualize us, blah, 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 and all type of stuff. And then I see this trend, right? And it's called like the breaking my heart trend or something like that. But it's pretty much like the older generation, right? And how good they looked younger, right? So you'll see a video or some older pictures of them when they're like the age that they are right now, right? And they 50, 60 years old or whatever, sometimes even older than that. And then it'll cut to pictures when they were in their 20s, maybe early 30s, and they're attractive, right? And let me tell you something. For the men, the women have been going crazy. Like, these older dudes, like, women are in the comment section talking about, what do you mean back in the day? Your daddy look good now. And these women are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s saying this to these dudes. They in the comment section talking about, your father can blow my back out. That's what they saying in the comment section. Like, legit, these are their words. They're sitting there sexualizing these dudes and sexualizing themselves. Like, that's what I'm saying. The hypocrisy is like, don't. But you sitting there being a horn dog online. You talking about how you want to have sex with this girl's father that's 50 years old and you 21, or you 31, or you 41. Talking about your daddy can get it now. Your daddy could have got it back then. Sorry, sis. New stepmother incoming. You need a stepmother? Because I'm about to be in there. I'll sit on your daddy face. Ooh, the gray salt and pepper. I actually like him older. All type of just weird ass comments. And it's just like, that's my thing. I'm just big on the hypocrisy of shit. Shut y'all asses up about certain things if you're going to be doing the same things. You don't get to speak this way about, hey, stop. But hey, I want to do it. Nah, man. That's not the way I let shit slide. Like, I don't let shit roll that way. I'm going to call you out immediately. And in all honesty, I would expect to be called out my damn self. Shit, matter of fact, you ain't got to call me out. My nigga, I'm a hypocrite. I am going to be a hypocrite sometimes. I know for a fact I am. I am human. Most humans, if not all humans, are hypocrites at some point in time. I'm not going to sit here and fight you on it. Now I'm going to sit here and try my best to not be one, but I also know that I can go back on some shit. It's just how people are. So that's been an episode of Hey, I'm Just a Fan podcast, man. Remember, follow me on all social platforms. YouTube, if you want to see the the video version of this. I might throw it on Spotify too. I think you can do video on there at some point. So follow me on there. Follow me on Instagram, Keenan Baker on all platforms. KEENAN Baker on all platforms. If you are in the city of Los Angeles, I run one of the dopest monthly comedy shows in LA. It is a storytelling comedy show. Comedians come there and they tell some of the craziest, wildest, exclusive stories. A lot of times these stories don't even leave the room. Like, they're only could be said in that room because people are going so crazy. Some people tell crazy celebrity stories that they can't tell nowhere else. And we do this once a month. July 27th. All right. July 27th is the next one. If you want tickets, you can DM me on Instagram, or you can follow Bonfire Stories Comedy on Instagram. And you can click the link in the bio for the tickets, man. Tickets are only $10. And on top of that, you get a free glass of wine when you buy a ticket. So come through and support your boy. I host it with my boy Ice. And it's going to be super, super dope. July 27th. All right, so get them tickets. And I'll see you on the next episode of Hey, I'm Just a Fan.